turn off the video game. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Kate, I can't. My mission has just started. I just landed on the moon.
Landed on the moon? Really?
Of course, on the moon. Now I'm going to build a colony there.
Okay, that's great. This is perfect. Then we're going to watch a slideshow all about life on the moon. Switching on the magic lantern. Munchausen on the Moon, based on a book by Eric Raspa. My friends, do you recognize me? I am Baron Munchausen, the most truthful man in the world. And not only in the world, but also on the moon. Listen.
Oh, Baron Munchausen. Remember, Kate? He's the guy who was doing all that shooting with food.
One day, I was traveling around the Orient. I bought a bunch of strange beans from a merchant. The merchant was trying to say something about them, but I couldn't understand a single word.
Beans. He's probably going to load his rifle with them.
When I got home, I tried to cook them, but they didn't seem edible to me, so I gave up, threw them out the window. In the morning, I was so surprised to see gigantic beanstalks just outside the window. They reached all the way up to the sky, as far as the eye could see.
Wow, that's what the merchant was trying to tell him.
I was curious and climbed up the beanstalk.
I would go up too, out of curiosity.
Sure you would. You also ate toothpaste out of curiosity.
It smelled like candy.
I climbed higher and higher until I reached the moon. I had plenty of time to spare, so I decided to take a little walk on the moon.
Hold on a second. Don't you need a spacesuit if you're gonna walk around on the moon?
No, people like Baron Munchausen don't. As you know, the moon is made of cheese. It's very convenient if you're tired and hungry after a long journey.
It's made of cheese? Kate, I didn't even know that.
You thought it was made of toothpaste? Milk flows in the moon's rivers instead of water. And gingerbread and butter tarts grow on trees.
Granny bakes gingerbread and butter tarts. Apples grow on trees. Watermelons, too.
Sure, Mike, and tomatoes and cucumbers as well. But the most interesting thing is that there are inhabitants on the moon. They also grow on trees. Some trees yield government officials, others yield ice cream makers. They also have chefs and tailors.
Do people grow on trees?
Some do. You grew up on an oak, Mike. Their food is mainly cheese and gingerbread. They open a small door in their stomachs and put the cheese or gingerbread there. That way, they don't waste time eating and are free to do other things.
I'd like that too. So convenient.
Of course it is, and it'd be convenient to put toothpaste there too. The moon inhabitants carry their heads under their arms. And sometimes, they even leave their heads at home so that they don't damage it. Mike, maybe you're from the moon too. Interestingly, they have 7 fingers on each hand. That's why they can sew and stitch boots much quicker than we can. They use their bellies as suitcases. They put whatever they want there and lock them up with a key. It's very convenient for traveling.
Where would they travel to? They're already on the moon.
I don't know. Maybe they'd go to Saturn? When I had enough walking on the moon, I went back to the beanstalk and climbed down to Earth. The trip down was very easy, and soon I was back at home.
And if you were to plant these beans, on the moon, do you think that the beanstalk would reach Saturn?
No, they can only reach Mars. But why are you laughing? It's the complete truth. If you don't believe me, climb up to the moon and see it for yourself.
Kate, do they actually sell these beans anywhere?
Why?
I could really go for some cheese with gingerbread now.
Magic lantern. Okay, Mike, time's up. We're going to watch a slideshow.
I don't want to. I don't like watching your slideshows.
Well, then you want to bet that you'll like this one?
Okay, if I don't like it, you clean up the room and pick up the toys. If I do like it, then I will.
That's great. It's a deal. Okay, then. What slideshow shall we pick? One about dolls? No. How about fashion? I got it. Switching on the magic lantern. From Cannon to the Moon, based on a book by Jules Verne. Nicholas and Barnaby have been friends since childhood, and for as long as they can remember, they've always made bets with each other.
Look, you see? They also made a bet.
The friends bet who could run faster to school, who was able to stand longer on one leg, and who could eat more ice cream.
That's a good idea. Let's try standing on one leg, too.
The friends grew up, and each of them became famous scientists. But of course, they never stopped betting.
Wanna bet?
So, Mike, do you like the slideshow?
No, it's really boring.
Late one evening, after returning from a meeting of a group of noted scientists, Nicholas said, "Want to bet that I can fly to the moon?"
Really? To the moon?
Barnaby then replied, "Want to bet that I will fly to the moon?" The friends decided to meet on Friday to see who among them was the winner.
Who's going to win?
Neither Nicholas nor Barnaby knew how to fly to the moon. But a bet is a bet. So they had to invent something quickly.
Hold on, I've got it. They need to build a teleporter. Or something really boring like that.
Barnaby thought, and finally he was able to invent a cannon that could launch something all the way to the moon. But he couldn't think of what he would put in it.
Can you reach the moon from a cannon? I told you I wasn't gonna like the slideshow.
Nicholas thought, and he invented a spaceship that would actually travel all the way to the moon. But he didn't know how he would be able to launch it.
Even better, a spaceship.
Nicholas and Barnaby each worked very hard for a whole week.
They won't be able to come up with anything anyway.
On Friday, the friends met again. Nicholas showed his cannon, and Barnaby his spaceship. But neither of them could reach the moon. The friends wanted to bet on something just out of habit.
Well, Kate, get ready for a big cleanup.
But suddenly, it occurred to them. What if they were to combine the inventions?
What does that mean?
The spaceship fit into the cannon perfectly. Nicholas and Barnaby lit the fuse together and then quickly climbed into the spaceship. Suddenly, the cannon fired, and the spaceship was sent hurtling into the sky. It traveled with cosmic speed.
They should be careful. They're gonna explode.
And after about 30 minutes, the friends found themselves standing on the moon.
All right, it worked.
They were immediately surrounded by the local inhabitants, aliens. They showed them around the moon and gave them ice cream to take home and give to the people on Earth.
Wow, I wonder what different flavors of ice cream they have.
Nicholas and Barnaby said goodbye to the aliens and flew back home.
What? Is that the end? Oh, I just started to like this.
At one point, Nicholas said, "I'll bet that I could eat more ice cream than you." "Oh yeah? Well, I'll bet that I could eat more," said Barnaby. And they ate all the ice cream they had, and none was left for the people on Earth.
All right, you win. I'll clean up. But first, want to bet that I'm gonna like another slideshow?
I'm sure you will. But before that, I bet you'll put away your toys. Magic Lantern. Okay, Mike, turn off the video game. We are going to watch a slideshow.
I want to play. I earned so many bonuses. I'm not about to share them with anyone right now.
You won't share it even with friends?
No! I need all these bonuses for myself.
Amazing. Well, in that case, we'll watch a slideshow about what happens when you don't share things with friends. Switching on the magic lantern. The Little Island of Shipwreck, based on a book by Alexander Belya. One day, Reginald got really bored. So he decided to go on an ocean voyage to entertain himself.
When I feel bored, I play video games, that's all.
Mike, you also play video games when you're happy, which means that you're pretty much playing them all the time. Beautiful Viviana was traveling in the cabin next to his. Let's be bored together, said Reginald. All right, agreed Viviana.
Is it possible to be bored together?
It just depends on who you're with at the time. It sure is with you. One night, a terrible hurricane approached, and the ship started to sink. All the passengers and the crew got into boats and sailed away. But Reginald and Viviana were still asleep in their cabins.
What about the captain? Isn't he supposed to be the last to leave the ship?
The next to last. Now just keep watching. When they went out on the deck, there was no one left there. And the half-sunk ship was drifting in the sea. No one will save us, cried Viviana.
Will they be saved?
Keep watching, don't interrupt. Then they saw a small island in the distance. We're saved! Viviana and Reginald were happy.
Phew!
It was the strangest island in the world. It consisted of half-sunken ships, all gathered together by the current, right in the middle of the ocean.
Hold on! I thought all the islands were made of sand.
Not all of them, as you can see. Sailors from all over the world lived on that island. Sailor Slayton was the leader there. He declared himself the king of the island.
If this guy is a king, where is his crown?
In the lobby on a hanger. Keep watching. Welcome to my kingdom, said Slayton. Would you like to eat some raw fish? I can't eat raw fish, said beautiful Viviana.
I can't eat fish either. Only if it's sushi.
Slayton looked angrily at beautiful Viviana. He said, "You will be my wife!" Viviana protested. "I will not!" Reginald added, "She will not!" Slayton ordered, "Put him in the hold!" And Reginald was tied and thrown into the hold.
Why did they tie him up? Because he wouldn't eat raw fish?
Mr. Reginald was able to untie the ropes, but the door of the hold was locked. Reginald started throwing around the barrels that were put along the walls of the hold. Maybe there's another exit here.
Kate, what's in the barrels anyway?
Keep watching. There were candies and cookies in the barrels. That's what King Slayton is eating. Behind one of the barrels, there was a secret passage, and Reginald climbed up on the deck from the hold. Mike, you would probably eat all the candies first.
You would eat them too.
He found the beautiful Viviana, and they climbed into an old boat in order to get away from the island. Catch them! Cried Slayton.
Hang on, Reginald! We're rooting for you!
Slayton is lying to you, yelled Reginald. He gives you raw fish to eat, and he himself eats candies and cookies. So the sailors rushed back to attack Slayton.
Hurry up, you guys! Get to the hold! The candies are there!
Reginald and Viviana got home safe and sound. Since then, they've never been bored. Do you understand now that you have to share things with friends?
Yes, I do.
Will you share things with me?
No,
Why not?
you're my sister. And they didn't say anything about sisters in the slideshow.
Magic Lantern. video games. We're going to watch a slideshow.
Kate, I want to keep playing for a bit. I'm still a little kid.
Well, don't you want to be a big man?
No, I don't. It's hard to be a big man. Let everyone else grow up. I want to always be little.
That's great. So in that case, we're going to watch a slideshow about being little among big people. Switching on the magic lantern. Gulliver in the Land of Giants. Based on a book by Jonathan Swift. Once upon a time, Captain Gulliver boarded a ship. He was going to travel all the way around the world, buying exotic things.
And who's little here?
Be patient, Mike. You'll find out. Suddenly, a terrible storm hit, and the wind carried the ship to unknown seas and oceans. We're going to be lost at sea, the sailors cried.
Ah, I see. The sailors behave like little kids.
Well, not just the sailors. But soon, the wind calmed down, and everyone saw the land. Land ho! Shouted the sailors, though you could already tell without them shouting that.
Kate, before they reached the land, did they go up there and shout, "Water ho"?
Mike, just knock it off. The crew went ashore, so they could fill up on supplies of fresh water and food.
Did they go shopping or what?
Gulliver also went to the shore and sat down on the sand to have some rest. When he woke up, he saw that his crew was swimming to the ship in terror, having forgotten about their captain. But what had happened?
Kate, what happened?
You'll find out soon. Suddenly, Gulliver saw a huge giant standing there. The giant reached down and grabbed Gulliver and lifted him up closer to his eyes so that he could see him better.
Whoa, he's so big.
The giant really liked Gulliver, so he decided that he would take him home and show him off to his family.
That's some family. They're all big.
The giant put Gulliver on the table. The giant's daughter clapped her hands with joy. He is so lovely! I'm going to play with him.
You could probably go deaf from those claps.
The giant's daughter put Gulliver in a dollhouse and dressed him up in some of her favorite doll's clothes.
He's a captain. You can't do that to a captain, can you?
He's a captain for some, but for others, he's only just a little doll. Gulliver had to drink tea with china dolls all day long. Or he had to try on many paper hats in front of the mirror.
I thought those are supposed to be for girls.
But at least they fed Gulliver with the best food. And besides, 1 grain was enough for him to be full. And he could actually eat 1 potato for a whole week.
You might lose your appetite if you had to live like that.
One day, the giant's daughter went out for a walk, and she decided to take Gulliver in his dollhouse with her.
You can't take that kind of toy on a walk. What if you lost it?
Right, keep watching. All of a sudden, a giant eagle snatched the doll's house and took it to the clouds. But it couldn't hold it in its claws and dropped it right into the sea.
What did I tell you?
Gulliver's house drifted with the waves and came across Gulliver's ship and its crew.
That was really lucky.
The sailors were very happy to find their captain and to see that he was safe and sound. And Gulliver wasn't mad at them at all for leaving him behind. All's well that ends well. And this story ended well.
It must have felt good to be big again.
What about you, Mike? Have you changed your mind about staying little?
I have. Now I decided that I want to be big, or else you'll make me wear doll's hats just like Gulliver. I know how you are, you giant.
Magic Lantern. turn off the video game. I found such an amazing slideshow.
Really, Kate? But I just started playing.
Sure, just started. You've been playing for 2 hours.
Okay, then let's do this. You give me your candy, and I'll turn off the game. Deal?
Deal. But I have a condition too. You'll only eat that candy after you watch the slideshow, okay? Switching on the magic lantern. The Adventures of Dr. Blood. Based on a book by Raphael Sabatini. One day, Dr. Blood was sitting at home and reading a book about pirates.
Is your candy the kind with filling?
Yes, of course it is. Now just keep watching. Suddenly, he heard screams. Help! Help!
Chocolate filling?
Yes, chocolate filling. Watch! Dr. Blood put the book aside, picked up his little medicine bag, and rushed to help.
I get the whole box?
Yes, all of it. Don't worry about it. The man that was screaming was wearing a black eye patch. The one-eyed man complained that he had a toothache.
I had a toothache too.
Dr. Blood took a solution from his bag and poured it into the man's mouth.
He's lucky. They had to drill mine.
Hooray! The pain is magically gone! Cried the one-eyed man. Now you will come with me.
This one-eyed man is so mean.
I am not coming, protested Dr. Blood. Yes, you are, said the one-eyed man and pulled out 2 guns.
Oh, that's interesting.
The one-eyed man turned out to be a cruel pirate, and he brought Dr. Blood onto his ship.
So it's about pirates! Why didn't you say so in the first place?
During the day, the one-eyed man would attack different cities, stealing candy from their citizens and eating them.
That's what I'm gonna be when I grow up.
And in the evening, Dr. Blood would cure his toothaches.
Wait, he has a toothache because of candy? I kind of don't want to be a pirate anymore.
A long time passed. All that time, Dr. Blood thought about how he could outsmart the one-eyed man. One day, the one-eyed man left the ship so he could discuss things with some other pirates. Dr. Blood took over the steering wheel and steered the ship so that it headed directly for his hometown.
That's it, I'll be a doctor. Except on a pirate ship.
Pirates! Cried the townspeople when they saw the pirate ship, and they ran away in fear.
Now he's going to rob them too.
Captain Blood waved at them. I'm not a pirate. I'm a doctor. As proof, Dr. Blood went down into the hold, took all the candy that the one-eyed man had been storing there, and passed them out to the townspeople.
Don't eat them. You're just gonna get a toothache.
The townspeople ate all the candy, and by the evening, they all got toothaches.
I warned you.
Dr. Blood cured all the townspeople, and they all believed that he was a real doctor. And they weren't afraid of him anymore. And really, you should be afraid of candy and not doctors. The end. So, should I go get the candy now?
Well,
A whole box with lots of chocolate filling?
no, forget about that, Kate. Let's watch another slideshow instead.